In 2015, the world-famous resort of Cancun was hit by a plague. Masses of Sargazo, a species of seaweed endemic to the Caribbean, on its pristine white beaches.
La reacción fue de asombro. O sea, fue la primera vez que llegó un recale atípico de sargazo en la región.
Wagner Elbion is a Cancun municipal government representative charged with handling beach cleanup.
Al no estar nosotros preparados en ese momento, porque fue algo completamente nuevo, fue buscar todas las alternativas posibles para poder retirar ese sargazo lo antes posible.
300 tons a month of rotting sargasso was spat out by the ocean. Armies of labourers were deployed, but they couldn't hold back the tide of dying organic matter, and tourism, upon which the local economy depends, began to suffer.
If you want pristine beaches and beauty and stuff like that, that's why at the resort they have people out there every morning raking it up and hauling it off, because it's not what you want to see when you're on vacation.
Desgraciadamente sí es algo que impacta muy fuerte. O sea, el sargazo, como lo comentamos hace rato, es algo nuevo relativamente aquí en el estado, 4 años. Sí es algo que le molesta al visitante, ¿no? Al turista, al extranjero, que muchos ahorraron mucho tiempo para venir a las vacaciones y lo que esperan es lo que siempre hemos ofrecido, este tipo de playas cristalinas, playas hermosas.
The problem is only getting worse. In 2018, the region saw 7 times more sargasso deposited along its coast than 3 years ago.
Yeah, we go down to Playa del Carmen a fair bit. We were there in October and it was pretty bad, but nothing like this. This is scary almost.
This year is the worst so far.
But what is it that has turned this plant into a plague? Maria del Carmen Garcia is a biologist working to tackle the sargasso.
Sí, el sargazo es una macroalga, básicamente lo tenemos, es una planta. Este sargazo es una especie natural de aquí, de las aguas caribeñas mexicanas. El problema es que las algas en ciertas condiciones de muchos nutrientes y calor crecen rápidamente, esto se llaman boom, y eso está sucediendo con este sargazo pelágico.
Warmer seas and other environmental factors have encouraged the sargasso's growth to 3 times its natural rate.
Pero adicionalmente aquí en México, pues hemos cambiado las condiciones del agua y ahora tenemos muchos nitratos, fosfatos, y eso permite que crezca el alga. Esto junto con el aumento de temperatura resultado del cambio climático, que es adicional, pues también entonces favorece las algas cuando hay nutrientes, temperatura y las condiciones crecen.
All this means that the faster the sargasso is removed, the better. The problem is unending, and it means dirty work cleaning it up. But there is a lot of money to be made for those who will do it. Local authorities have resorted to manual clean-up operations, equipping labourers with pitchforks and wheelbarrows and dispatching them to the worst affected areas. It's a slow process that can't keep up with the daily deposits spat out by the sea, and this year alone, local governments will spend over $40 million on sargasso cleanup. Dave Sanderson, a Canadian entrepreneur, moved here in mid-2018 to take advantage of the problem.
When I previously worked with Shell Oil, was in the marine portion division. So I had a familiarity with what happens with barriers and sargasso and sediments and oils, and I was able to transport that into the sargasso business.
Sargasso causes the biggest problems when it arrives on shore. Dave's operation goes after it in the water, using floating tractors to extract the plant from the surf. He's only been operating for 6 months, but already has more work than he can handle.
It's a big business. So right now we're operating in Belize, soon to be Dominican Republic as well. We're anticipating being involved very heavily in Latin America and the Caribbean within the next 2 months.
Dave is doing good business along the Caribbean, but what he pulls from the water remains a worthless scourge. That's something that Oscar Alvarez, the Cancun government's environmental minister, is seeking to change.
Sí, el problema y el gran reto del sargazo, si bien es contener el agua limpia en el mar, es muy caro todo este tipo de trabajos. Entonces el reto era generar algún tipo de aprovechamiento que pudiera darle sustentabilidad a la limpieza, o sea, que el propio sargazo pagara su limpieza.
To solve the Sargazo problem, it means turning this worthless scourge into a useful commodity. And finding a use for the Sargazo, which currently ends up dumped, untreated in the region's jungles, is the next big challenge.
I mean, everybody got so scared about Sargazo. And even universities and scientists, they spend so much money, thousands, millions of dollars, to try to find a way to do something with the Sargazo. And that's where, you know, here I come.
Omar Sanchez has discovered you can make traditional adobe house bricks out of it.
It was common sense, I think, but it was in my mind. The Sargazo has this natural glue. Like, wait a minute, if they use straw or something for the adobe and it doesn't break, I'm pretty sure Sargazo is going to work better. Sargazo is strong. If you try to rip it off apart, it's hard. It's not so easy.
He says his bricks can improve the lives of the Yucatan's impoverished communities.
The Sargazo is going to arrive even worse than last year. So each house, it's made up of 20 tons per house. So we're using a lot of Sargazo. Because I grew up without a house and now I'm donating houses.
While entrepreneur Jorge Ramos is making shoes from the seaweed.
Dejamos secar la planta, la alga, después de que se seca el alga, la molemos y con esa vamos a pasar a otro proceso de unir varios plásticos o polímeros para poder fusionar los plásticos con con la pulverizada alga y con eso creamos pellets de diferentes plásticos para hacer suela.
Yet, while the Sargasso's abundance may be positive for those finding a use for it, its presence is indicative of a far more serious problem. That problem is climate change. And while the seaweed may put the tourists off, it's killing local ecosystems.
Primero, que haya un mal olor y que pues lo que vamos a ver como turistas es un paisaje completamente distinto a nuestras aguas transparentes y nuestras playas blancas. Ahora las vamos a ver cafés. Por otro lado, y una cuestión de mucho riesgo, es que se forma esta marea café que va acompañada con este ácido sulfúrico que hace que el sistema pierda el oxígeno y entonces pues los organismos empiezan a morir.
The plant is beginning to kill the coral reefs which have been essential to the Caribbean Sea's ecological makeup.
Se empezó a notar una afectación, mortandad en macrofauna, en las zonas arrecifales también. Actualmente tenemos enfermedades en los corales que no sabemos si están o no generadas por la eutroficación que causa el sargazo cuando se descompone en la orilla de la playa, ¿no?
Y hay que recordar que el arrecife es nuestra barrera ante los ciclones y los huracanes. Si en un huracán nosotros ponemos un aparato y medimos la energía que disipa, pues puede equivaler a una décima parte de 25 bombas atómicas lo que nos está llegando. Entonces, su efecto atenuante ante todo el viento es importantísimo. Que pues a corto plazo vamos a tener condiciones de mucha erosión y no vamos a poder vivir en la zona costera.
As climate change shows no signs of stopping, the Sargazo problem appears doomed to worsen, a symptom of an increasingly sick planet, unless action is taken to concentrate on the root cause of the issue.
Si no hay una conciencia ambiental real de todos los seres humanos que vivimos frente a las costas y dejamos de contaminar nuestros mares, esto va a seguir llegando.